What it is, guys, your boy I'm so analyzing, and today we got the UCL Final 2024. Obviously gonna give my reaction to that. We're gonna get into Mbappé finally signing, finally coming to Real Madrid, get the future of that, because Endrick's coming, the rest of the future of Real Madrid, and then we're gonna get into my UCL prediction, see how we stacked up. But let's start off with the final of Dortmund versus Real Madrid in the UCL final. The game was in Wembley. The first half, Dortmund gave it to us. They were better than us. We had most of the possession, though, at 64%. But BVB was causing danger on the counter. They had 8 shots compared to our 2. And their XG was better at 1.88 to 0.07. Adeyemi's chance was the clearest. It was right over our line of defense. And credit to Courtois. He forced Adeyemi to go around him and have a worse shot, and obviously he didn't get it. Fulkrug almost scored, but he missed it. Second half, when Carlos said after the game that in halftime in the locker room, he didn't say anything. He just said we could play better to the players, and the players agreed. They said, okay, we're gonna go out there, and they did play better. Obviously, he made some tweaks, right? And one of the tweaks was that Carlo had the team play with less of the ball. We only had a 49% possession of the ball in the second half compared to the 64% we had in the first half. And in the second half, while defending, we were in a 4-4-2. He switched it up. He started Vini. At first, Vini was at the top of the 2-striker partnership, and he would press, and Jude would be on the left side of the 4-man midfield. He switched the positions between them, and Vini was on the wide left, waiting on the counter to get in dangerous areas, and as a result, we got more comfortable in the game. We started to create more chances. We had 11 shots to 5 in favor of Los Blancos. In the 74th minute, out of all people, 5'8" Dani Carvajal scores a header to make it 1-0. And then in the 83rd minute, Madsen loses the ball. Jude recovers it and assists to Vini, who slots it in to confirm the 2-0 Madrid winners of la decimoquinta, bro. Como no te voy a querer si fuiste campeón de Europa una y otra vez. You know what I'm saying? Historia que tú hiciste, historia para hacer. No tengo tu camiseta pegada al corazón. Los días que tú juegas, soy todo lo que soy. And then more. Madrid, 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 jala Madrid y nada más. You guys know, bro. Yes, sir. We won la decimoquinta, bro. Real Madrid, best club ever. Fun fact, though, this ends 4 straight UCL finals scores of 1-0 since 2020, when Bayern beat PSG 1-0. 2021, Chelsea beat City 1-0. 2022, Real Madrid beat Liverpool 1-0, and then 2023, last year, City beat Inter 1-0. So that ends that streak of 1-0 games. On the tactic side, Dortmund's plan was to defend in a 4-1-4-1 low block, then go out in the transition, and it was working. Real Madrid, we had to work so hard to find any space, especially in the middle of the field where they had it packed. They were forcing us to go out wide to Vinicius and Rodrigo and have them create something one-on-one. Second half, we gave more of the possession to BBV. Like I was saying, they didn't know what to do with more possession. They were still trying to pass it long to Fulkrug, have him bring it down, have him hold up play and give it to the wingers of Sancho and Adeyemi. They had more space to do things, and they didn't do that. Real Madrid, we defended and pressed in a 4-4-2, ready to strike at any moment, and did the little adjustments, like I said, of Jude and Vinicius switching spots. Now, I think this makes Real Madrid, what I'm about to explain, this is what makes us us. This is what makes us the greatest team, one of the greatest team to come back. This is what makes us our competition. Because this is what makes, obviously, the UCL our competition. Because after Carvajal scored, most of the times for any other team, the mindset is okay. We just scored the first goal after a long time of playing, creating chances. We finally get this goal, and the intensity will just drop, and they just chill. And sometimes it's intentional, and other times it's subconsciously because they're tired. In most teams, it will happen, right? But then the team who got scored on, their intensity will grow even higher because they're like, oh no, we just got scored on. We got to score right now or we're going to lose, right? And when that team with the high intensity meets the team with the low intensity, boom, score next minute. And it'll be like this quick. And for los merengues, opposite. Literally after Carvajal's goal, our intensity grew. The confidence grew. The level of play got better. I seen it after the goal. We lost the ball close to the box. And Rodrigo literally backtracks from the right of the field before it can leave the area. Like, damn, bro. Like, it's just not just him. It's like the rest of the team. Everybody's ready to press or back the press. And this is what you love to see as a Madridista, bro. Like, you just love to see that he's still not playing well, but they're still giving it all out. Even after we score the first goal, the intensity doesn't drop. It heightens. It gets better. They get more aggressive. They grow into the game. And that's what you love to see. It obviously led to Vini's goal. Like, same thing. And this is what we love to see. Like, I want to give props to Dortmund, obviously. They gave us a run in the first half. They were better than us. They were more prepared than us. They were ready for the moment. And they had more opportunities. But the thing is, you got to hit them. And unfortunately, but fortunately for us, Madridistas, they missed them. But I want to give them a shout out. But I just love how Real Madrid does that, bro. Like, how after a goal, your intensity gets better. Like, the intensity heightens. It grows, becomes higher. Like, only Real Madrid. Only Real Madrid. Man of the match was Dani Carvajal, obviously, for his goal, so I understand. But I think, to me, the main two protagonists were Vinicius and Courtois. Vini, we relied on him a lot when the attack was stalling in the middle. We would rely on him to create, to get the ball, create things on the wings, and that's what he was doing. He had 8 successful dribbles. That was the most in the match. 14 duels won, most in the match. He had 1 goal. He was cooking Ryerson. He was cooking him so bad that Hummels had to get out of his spot, going to the right side of Dortmund to help him out, to have a double 2v1 versus Vinicius. Vinicius had a beautiful stop and push nutmeg on Ryerson. It was beautiful to see it live, and it was masterpiece from Vinicius. Courtois, he's what kept us alive in the first half. We would have been down 2-0, 3-0 if it wasn't for him. He had 2 saves in the first half, 3 saves total, or even smart plays like a Adeyemi missed chance. Just having the expertise, to have the knowledge, to know that you just got to spread. You just spread it, make his body bigger and force Adeyemi to go out more of the area to take a harder shot. So I count that as a save in my opinion, because it's one-on-one. He has no help. He has to do this all by himself. And he basically saves it. So that's basically a save for me. Courtois, he was trying to replicate his 2022 UCL final display, which obviously was better. He had 9 saves in that final. But Courtois showing up when the moment matters. Literally, he just got back from injury 4 games ago. And now he's in the final of the UCL and he's showing up big time. That's one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. Shout out the Belgian. Other players from the game, Toni Kroos, GOAT midfielders of all time. He's retiring after this season, after the Euros. He's going to be done with football. He won his 5th UCL with the club. He's a 6-time UCL champion. He has a lot more accolades. Obviously, he's won the World Cup. He has a few Bundesligas. He has a few La Ligas. And he had more accolades. In this match, he had 4 created chances, the most in the game. He completed the most passes in the game with 91. He's just absolute class. I don't expect anything else from him. Thank you, Tony, for your 10 seasons with the club. Es una leyenda, un maestro del juego. He's one of the GOAT midfielders. He's part of the greatest Real Madrid team, in my opinion, that I've ever seen. Is the 2016-2017 Madrid squad, or the team. That's the best team I've ever seen, in my opinion. And he's also part of my top 11 all time in football. I'm going to update that. Look forward to that. That's soon. The episode's going to come out soon. But he's part of all that. So I want to thank you, Toni Kroos, the German, for your time in football and in the club. Thank you. The back line of Real Madrid was pretty bad the first half. The second half we improved, like Ancelotti said. We needed to be more balanced, and they did do that. They only conceded 5 shots in the second half, producing 6 clearances. The rest of the midfield did their part. It wasn't exceptional. Like, I wouldn't say it was so great, like wonderful, but they all did their part. Camavinga was lurking around, stopping progressive play from Dortmund, Valverde as well, and then Bellingham switching to the main forward in the high press. Rodrigo, he had a sloppy game. He only completed one dribble and one duel. But like I previously mentioned, he was backtracking, counter-pressing, still giving effort in defense. And that's why Real Madrid is where we are. That's why we're 15-time champions. That's why we're 36-time La Liga champions. Because even when our forwards not doing well attacking-wise, what do? They backtrack, they help in defense, doing whatever they can to help the team progress. This is where we're at. Speaking of that, right now, Madrid, obviously now we have 15 UCLs, still the most in history. Second is AC Milan with 7. So we got double that. We got double the next best. Insane. That makes it 6 titles in 11 seasons starting from 2014. Which basically means that in that time span, we've won 54% of the available UCLs, more than half of them. And I'm just so glad, I'm so thankful to be able to witness this as a Madridista. I've been able to witness all the last 6. I've been able to witness all of them. All of them, like starting with La Decima, when back in 2014, when we beat Atleti, Sergio Ramos scored the 93, scored a header to make it 1-1 to go to extra time. I think Bale scored, Marcelo scored, I believe, and then Cristiano scored the penalty. We beat them 4-1. And that was La Decima with Ancelotti. Then 2 years later, 2015-2016, La Undécima, we beat Atleti 1-1. I mean, we know it was 1-1 regular time. Sergio Ramos hit it, and then we beat him in penalties. Duodécima, that was the next season, 16-17 season. We won La Liga, we won La Duodécima. I remember we beat, we beat Juventus 4-1, and that was a great game to watch. It was, again, spectacular season. That's probably the best time I've had as a Real Madrid fan was that season. Like, I just remember having the 40-game unbeaten streak, beating Barca. We tied Barca. We didn't even beat Barca that year. I remember we lost like 3-2 in the Bernabéu with Messi's goal. But the rest of the season was good. The 40 games unbeaten. Like, that was the best team, like I said, I've ever watched in my life. We were coming back from comeback straight at 2. Like, every single La Liga game, it feels like we came back. We would lose like the first half 2-0, and then we'd come back and win 3-2. That was that season. It was that crazy. And I just remember being all part of that. Decima Tercera was a 3-peat. We won the 13th one. That was a 3-peat of 2016, 17, 18. We beat Liverpool 3-1. That was Lord Karius's awful game. Horrible game he had. And that was Bale's Chilena. That was like the best. That is the best bicycle kick I've ever seen in my life. Like, I think that's the best bicycle kick ever. Like, just the magnitude of the game. Like, he was in the final and he scored that. Insane. I just remember that 3-peat, one of the greatest 3-peat. And decimoquinta, that was a few years ago. Ancelotti came back. That's when we had the best run in the UCL ever. I mean, in the first round, we beat PSG, who had Mbappé, Messi, and Neymar. We beat them, came back on them. Quarterfinal, we beat Chelsea, and this was pre-Todd Bowley Chelsea, so when they had Abramovich. This is before the Ukrainian thing, and Ukrainian and Russian wars before that, so he still had the team. And they were good that year. This was with Tuchel. This is when they were third in the Premier League, only behind Liverpool and City, so they were good. This Chelsea team was good, and then that was in the quarterfinals. And then the semifinals, we beat City. City, I mean, this is City. This is their second. That was their second title at the time. Now they 4-peated the Premier League. That was their second back-to-back title. And then we beat Liverpool in the final. And Klopp's Liverpool is a good Liverpool team. So that was the greatest run anyone's ever had in a UCL. And that was la decimoquinta. And la decimoquinta, obviously, this year. No striker. We signed Bellingham. And we go on to win the Liga title with only one loss. We lost to Atletico. And then the whole time with injuries, we win La Liga with a whole bunch of injuries of Eder to Courtois to Alaba, and we're still there. Still only lose one game only, and then we go on the UCL and we beat City. We beat Bayern on the way to the title. Like, this is just so thankful to be a Madridista, bro, and witness all of this. Like, this is spectacular. This is great. Like, I can't imagine not being a Madridista. I can't imagine being a fan of, like, no hate. No, but how can you actually be a fan of, like, Burnley, bro? Unless you're not from Burnley or, like, in London. I mean, in England. Like, how are you really a fan of Burnley, bro? Like, no offense, but, like, I mean, damn. Being a Madridista is, like, one of the greatest things ever, bro. Like, your team just wins. It's litty. Such a fun time. Let's start off with Ancelotti. Ancelotti now, he has 5 titles. 5 UCL titles as a manager. 3 with Real Madrid. 2 with AC Milan. And twice with Milan as a player. So, he has 7 all around. The most ever for any player, for, like, anything. I mean, for any figure, I guess, in football, he has the most with 7. He's one of the greatest managers ever. In my opinion, he is the greatest manager ever. He's won in all top 5 leagues. He has the Premier League, the Ligue 1. He has the obviously La Liga. He has the Bundesliga. He has the Serie A titles with Milan. Like, he has all of them. He has 29 total titles. In his second term with this, he has 2 La Ligas, 2 UCLs, 1 Copa del Rey, 1 Supercopa de España, 1 UEFA Super Cup. He has exceeded all my expectations. Like, when he first came, I was from Everton. I was like, I don't really expect anything. I'm mostly like just La Liga titles. Maybe we'll get to the Champions League final. Like, and he won it. He won La Liga and he won the UCL in his first season. Like, talk about exceeding expectations. And that's why I think I love him more, because I didn't expect a lot from him, and I expected one thing from him, and he gave me 2 things. I expected a few dollars, he gave me $100. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I love Ancelotti, and I love him even more. I talked about his style in the previous episode of the Champions League of the semifinals, and how he adopts to, like, different philosophies. He doesn't have one thing that he stays with. He goes mostly with the players. His philosophy adapts to what the players are. Like, if the players are good at this specific thing, he'll go with that instead of just saying, this is how we're going to play and it's my thing, right? And I love that. Like, he doesn't like to micromanage, and I think that works out for the players. I think that's better for the players, in my opinion, because they're not going to have to overthink. They just go out there and they play football. They'll be like, this is what I want you to do. Like, right? He gives them instructions like, oh, pass. Like, you're going to want to go overlap here and get more space here, but he's not telling them, and then I want you to pass here with your left foot, and then if he goes here, go there. He's saying, feel the football. Feel what you got to do, because you're the actual player. You're on the pitch. You see everything on the pitch. So do what you got to do. This is their life. This is football players' life, right? This is what they love to do. So let them go out there and do it, and I feel like that is the best way to coach. Like, it just is, especially when you have legends like Cruz and all, like, just, and Cristiano. You just go out there and play, guys. Just go out there and play. And it wins. It translates to winning titles. And that's why I love Ancelotti. That's why, in my opinion, he's the GOAT. Cruz, he's retiring, like I said. Nacho leaving to the MLS. Modric, he announced he's renewed his contract for another year at Real Madrid. And Carvajal, who's still staying. They all have 6 UCLs as a player, most of all time as players. Second was Cristiano with 5, but now obviously all 4 of them have passed them, with the exception of Cruz. All of them have won the 6th with Madrid. Just amazing. Again, blessed to. I'm saying it's just a blessing to be a Real Madrid fan, bro. It's just a blessing. And then Modric, yes sir, he's staying for another year, so that's cool to see. And then Nacho, he's going to be leaving. He's going to the MLS. He's been a great contributor to the club. In my opinion, he's not a legend. Most people want to say he is. There's like a debate about that. For me, he's not, because he's been a backup most of the time, and he's not up to that level with the other legends, so I wouldn't really classify him as a legend. But for sure, I would put him in the tier of great contributor. He's like under there, so he's better than Eden Hazard, I'll tell you that. So and Nacho, he's been a great contributor to the club, and that's what I'll say in my opinion. And one guy who doesn't get a lot of credit, and he should, is the president, Florentino, Mr. Papa Perez. Shout out Eric, that's the name he gave him. Shout out my boy. I think he deserves a lot of credit for the success, like a lot, because how he manages the club, like football-wise and business-wise. Football-wise, Like there is 3 last word guys in the club. Like everything goes through them, and that's obviously him, Papa Perez, CEO Jose Angel Sanchez, and the manager Carlo Ancelotti. And that's it, right? Like others give their opinion, like board members, well, they'll give their opinion, but them 3 are the deciding factors. Perez actually gives, like on the he gives the football pitch decisions, the power, he gives it to Ancelotti. And that holds weight because the players, they can't go whine to Perez. Like they can't do stuff that they have to respect the manager and what he puts on the field. If he benches you, you're not going to go complain to Perez. You're going to have to stop. You're going to have to go with the manager and talk to him. And it works out. He has the power to do things, and I think that's why the team functions more, because they all have to do their part and play. There's no special treatment, unlike other clubs, cough, cough, PSG. So, shout out, Mr. Papa Perez. And on the business side, he keeps the finances in order, always in check. We always have money. We always got sponsors. Like, we're never broke, unlike Barcelona. So, fingers crossed never happens to us, but we always got the finances in order. That's why we love Mr. Papa Perez. And then he adapts to the football business strategies. In the beginning of his tenure, when he became the president, it was the Galactico era. He would buy all the Galacticos, starting with Luis Figo, buy the top players, and mix them in with some of the academy guys from Real Madrid. And then later on, it kind of died down a bit, but we still buy some top guys. Courtois, most recent one, Hazard. He failed, but he's 150 million euros. Like, we still bought those kind of top quality players. And Hazard could be one of the reasons why he fully changed to like buying the youngsters. We bought Vini, Endrick, Rodrigo, when they're 16. Like, these guys are 16 in Brazil playing. He bought them. Camavinga, Trimani. There were teams when we bought them in France. Bellingham, it's obviously 20 years old. Valverde, we bought him when he was 17 in Uruguay. So he has set us up for success now and after him. So you got to thank El Señor Papa Perez, bro. Best president in the history, the greatest president in the history of Real Madrid. We have a lot of greatest in our thing, and we're Real Madrid. So that's what happens. Thank you, Mr. Papa Perez. The future, right? With this comes the future. After this UCL win, what is the future of Real Madrid? What is next? We got some players linked to the club, some players officially coming to the club. So we're going to start off with that. We're going to start off with Mbappé, Mr. Kylian Mbappé. Fabrizio Romano reported Sunday, June 2nd, that, I quote, every doc has been signed, sealed, and completed for Mbappe's move to Real Madrid. Supposedly he made a decision in February of 2024, saying he was already committed to the club. Real Madrid brought out their official communications, comunicado oficial, via their IG account, saying, I quote, Real Madrid, CF, and Kylian Mbappé have reached an agreement under which he will become a Real Madrid player for the next 5 seasons. End quote. I was waiting for it to be official so I could talk about it. I've said before, I ain't buying it till I see him in the white shirt at the Bernabéu. Well, and this is the first time that the club is recognizing him, following him on IG, talking about the whole thing, the whole bit. And it's finally, Kylian Mbappé, finally, after a long time, it's official. After all these years, he's a Real Madrid player. Crazy. But the whole thing is, I'm mixed about it. I'm honestly mixed about it. Obviously, I'm happy because I believe he's the best player in the world. So you want that caliber of player to your club. You want him to come to your club, and he's coming on a free. So this is not just a win. This is a win beyond wins. This is again, you're like, I'll have $5 and they give you $100. It's just this is a win-win all around. Best player in the world is coming to your club on a free. But he has rejected us twice. Okay, 2021, I know it's mostly PSG who didn't want to sell him, but he could have forced a move. If he wanted to come so bad to the club, he could have forced a move. And then 2022, we're about to get him on a free. I thought this was the year we're going to get him. He's going to come on a free. Nope, he signs a 2-year deal with an option year. At first it looked like a 3-year deal, but it was a 2-year deal with an option year. And that left sour tastes in the mouth of me and the other Madridistas, because you do not reject Real Madrid, not once, but twice he rejected us. You do not reject us like that. And then with that, I feel like his ego has grown throughout these years. The stories in the PSG locker room that, he knows he's the main guy, and he is, and he's probably bigger than the club of PSG. We know that. But as a leader, you can't act like that. You can't behave like that. Him leaving games when he's been subbed off by Luis Enrique and other managers, and his reactions to being subbed off. We don't want that. Not wanting to track back and not wanting to defend, not wanting to play certain positions. Like, you cannot do that at Real Madrid. Don't act like that at Real Madrid. Like, you can't act like that. I don't want him causing chaos to a team that gets along very well. I don't want him ruining it. And, according to Julien Laurent, a respected French journalist, he knows him. He actually knows Kylian. He said Kylian knows, and is too smart to know that if he goes to Madrid, he knows he's not bigger than the club. He knows he has to adapt to what the team wants, sacrifice for the team. And I'm just saying he better know. He better know he got to do this, because this is Real Madrid. You've rejected us twice. We already have some bad blood between us. You better start coming to the club, put your feet down, have your feet glued to the grass, the pitch, and you better go out there and give everything for the shirt. And then if that happens, everything will be forgiven. I swear. If he goes out there and he gives 110% for the badge, for la camiseta, merengue, okay? Everything will be forgiven. They rejected us twice. It would be forgiven, in my opinion. In my humble fanhood, if we were to do that, everything's forgiven. Now, supposedly he's going to take the number 9 shirt. Romano reported that. And he's going to wait it out until Luka Modric leaves to get the number 10 shirt. So we'll see what happens. And the question that's occurred from all this is obviously, how are Real Madrid going to play? How are we going to do this? And obviously we need a striker. That's why we signed him. We want a striker. We want him to play striker. I don't know if that's what he wants to play. He said before that's not his favorite position. It's like being in the left wing. He gets more creative there. But that's Vini's position. Okay, he's not taking that position from him. Vini has solidified himself there. So I think he's going to have to play striker. And we're going to play in a 4-3-3. In my opinion. Okay, we're going to go Courtois as the goalkeeper. Yeah, I don't know if we have Mendy or if we're going to buy Davies at this time. If we have Davies, it's going to be Davis. And the center back is going to be Rudiger or Militao or whoever. If Militao comes back better, it's probably going to be him. But the center backs are going to be Rudiger and Alaba. Donny's going to be the right back. Jude is going to be the left central midfielder. I personally would have Camavinga as CDM. Fede on the right of the midfield. And then the front three would be Vinicius on the left and Mbappé striker, Rodrigo right wing. The other option is the same diamond we've been playing, and they want to take off Rodrigo and play Mbappé. Most people have done that. They just automatically take Rodrigo off the team. Well, bro, you just take off another midfielder, and it would work out too if we've had the injuries at center back. We have another injury at center back. Put Trimini at center back, and then Camavinga at the CDM, and then boom. We have that 4-3-3 again with Rodrigo on the right side. I personally think we're going to go with the 4-3-3, so that's what I believe. And I want to shout out my boy Sergi. When we're talking about talking about the move, he brought up, how are they going to play, or I asked him, how do you think they're going to play? He said they're probably going to switch positions. It's not going to be solidified just Vini's role. They'll probably switch. They'll switch between in the game. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. They could interchange positions throughout the game. Just have 1, 2, 3, and have Rodrigo in there. They'll probably feel like I have the advantage against this team. I have the advantage on Vinicius do more centrally, or if Rodrigo feels like that, he'll cover in behind Mbappé if he's going to get in deeper, and things like that. And it'll probably actually make our attack unpredictable. We have unpredictability in the attack. They have no idea what we're doing, so it might actually just work out like that. And shout out to Jorge for that suggestion. That was good. And the Mbappé saga, bro. Finally, bro, comes to the club. But we'll see how he is. I hope he adapts quickly. I hope he understands all of that. And if he does, it'll be a smooth transition. One of the other players who's coming is Endrick. He's expected to join the club of July 2024 when he's 18. He signed back in December of 2022 for a reported 35 million euro fee from Palmeiras. He's a Brazilian kid. He's been compared to Ronaldo Nazario because of his dribbling skills and his ability to finish. Signing for the future, obviously. It's a classic Papa Perez signing. Okay, ever since Perez missed out on Neymar in 2013, every Brazilian wonder kid, he wants to sign, bro. Every time he sees one, he wants to sign one. And like those memes are hilarious, and where it's like, it'd be like Brazilian wonder kid exists, breathes, Papa Perez, I must buy him. Like that's facts, bro. Like he wants every Brazilian wonder kid, and it's worked. We obviously had Vinicius, we had Rodrigo, they're starters right now for the team, so can't hate him on the philosophy. Can't hate it, but it's just hilarious, bro. I think after he's seen that, he missed out on Neymar, and then Neymar went to the Barca squad, and 3 years later, he's the third best player in the world behind Cristiano and Messi. Like that 15, 16, 17 year, he was the third best player behind those two guys. So I think he saw that and he's like, every Brazilian wonder kid, I'm gonna buy now, because they might end up as the next Neymar, and I hate him because it's worked out. Davies is reported that we want to sign Alphonso Davies. He has 1 year left on his Bayern contract. There's reported 50 to 60 million euro fee. Obviously, he would be a great signing. Like low-key, I'd rather have more depth at right back, because Danny Carvajal, he's getting old. He's 32 and he'd be getting injured at times. However, Davies would be an exceptionally higher upgrade on Mendy. Like, I like Mendy, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's as bad as people set him out to be. He's not great at one thing, but he is pretty good like at everything overall. He can make overlapping runs, he can defend, but obviously Davies is the better player, right? He has better traits, like he has better statistics and the traits. He outperforms him in every one, like shots, creation, chances created, goals. Like Davies is obviously better, so it'll be an upgrade. Me personally, I would sell Fran, buy Davies with that money of Fran Garcia, and start Davies, and then have Mendy as a backup. I think that'd be pretty well, and let's see if we get him. I don't know if we're gonna get him or not, but we'll see. But I think that would work out with the squad. Now, let's go over to my UCL predictions. Okay, let's see how we did. Let me start off with the winners. Obviously, Real Madrid won, but I picked Bayern. I said Bayern was going to be the winner, and they ended up losing in the semis to us, the eventual champions. Not a great season for the Die Rotten in the Bundesliga. They did finish either third or second. Bayer Leverkusen had that spectacular season, but the Die Rotten did good in the UCL, but they fell short to us, and that's not that bad. So we're Real Madrid, so it's whatever. Runner-up, I picked Atleti. Obviously, BVB, Borussia Dortmund ended in the final, and they beat Atleti in the quarterfinals. Top scorer, I said it was going to be Mbappé, and Mbappé did finish joint top scorer with Harry Kane at 8 goals. Top assister, I said it was going to be Kane. Bellingham ended with first place with 5 assists. Kane tied second with 4 assists. He also finished first in goals plus assists, the G plus A, with 12. Biggest flop in the UCL, I said Newcastle, and I got that 100%. Like I knew it. I knew people had them as dark horses, finishing top of their group, and they finished last, bro. They finished last of Group F of Milan, Dortmund, and PSG. 7th in the Premier League as well. I just knew they were gonna flop because they're overrated, bro. It's that Premier League bias. I think they're going to do good, but there's not, bro. Like, the UCL's a different animal. There are unrealistic expectations that they have for them. Like, they were never going to get there. So, it's not because of Newcastle. I think it's just that Premier League bias. Like, bro. And they flopped. Finished last. I told you. And the breakthrough team, the streak never forget team, the dark horse, I said Arsenal. And it's not out of the realm of possibilities that they're a dark horse. They lost in the quarterfinals to Bayern, so it was not bad at all. But it was Dortmund, for sure. Dortmund, people didn't have them passing their group, and they won their Group F of, again, PSG, Milan, Newcastle. They beat PSV Eindhoven in the round of 16. They beat Atleti in the quarterfinals. They beat PSG in the semis, and they made it all the way to the final, only to fall to the best club ever. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So salutes to Dortmund, and they gave us, like I said, they gave us a hell of a run in the first half. So shout out Dortmund. But that was the episode, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Finally, Mbappé joins the club. We got a decimoquinta. It's a good day. It's a good time to be a Real Madrid fan. It's a good time. We'll see y'all next episode. Remember, be on the lookout for my all-time starting 11. Gonna bring that out. Gonna update that. And NBA Finals gonna start soon, so watch out for that episode. See y'all on the next one. Bye.